Let's go.
Let's
Welcome
go.
to Red
Let's go.
Cup.
Welcome to Red Cup.
The most craziest podcast ever. I know what you're gonna do, and no.
What are you
we're not
talking about?
doing this thing.
I was gonna say I'm not Ocho Cinco. You are,
Okay. I'm MVIN.
and this be.
I'm Zia.
How you doing today, Zia?
I'm doing fabulous. How about yourself?
Good. You ready to talk about what's in your cup?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Because you know what's in your cup ain't got nothing to do with what's in my cup.
Exactly. I do know.
But that don't mean we can't talk
Can't
about it.
talk about it.
So let's talk about
Let's
it.
talk about it.
That's exactly what I was saying that you're trying to do. I know. I see the move that you were. Okay.
It's okay.
So what's up? How was your week, man?
It was good.
Okay.
I'm thinking about going to get. I don't know whether I should or should not go get a cup of coffee from Starbucks right now, though.
What? Oh, yeah. I saw the
Right.
the Starbucks thing.
So for everybody who may not have been part of the viral movement that happened this morning, Starbucks in Philadelphia, a specific Starbucks in Philadelphia, apparently it seems as if you had two African American males sitting down waiting for a realtor partner to come in to have a meeting. An employee of Starbucks. We don't know who this person is, gender, race, but we can assume which race it was.
Yeah.
Was it confirmed that it was an employee though?
It was an employee. It was
Wow.
confirmed an
Wow.
employee called the police because these two gentlemen did not buy anything, but they were waiting for a business partner to come have a meeting with them. They call the police. Police show up, arrest them.
Arrest.
So should we boycott Starbucks now?
The only thing that not the only thing, but the first thing that I would say is I like how those young men handled the arrest.
Yeah.
I mean, there were no violence. They were just like, okay,
They were very calm.
you guys are here to arrest us. Okay, where do I stand? Handcuffs. Okay, that's it. And I think that's how we should handle it. Even though sometimes the cops will go on a tangent, but at least we don't want to give them reasons, because
Did they
this is what
not-
happened. Right after that, they got released. And now
No, it took
they're about
them.
to do
It took almost 24 hours for them to get
But
released.
the point is, they got released and they're gonna file a lawsuit.
And for somebody who has been arrested, it took 24 hours because their background probably had to go through Interpol,
Right.
CIA, FBI, all
But
those checks.
My question here is, the cops just walked up to them and like, we're gonna arrest you.
Well,
Yo.
those are the details we don't know.
One
They
thing
didn't
give them
is,
proper
it's a
calls, they
business,
didn't give
and
them a
if one of
reason.
it's a business, and if one of the employee in the business or somebody in the business or a manager calls and say we need those people to go, the cops will go ahead and have you to go. Now, how they do it is different. They can come and talk to you, or they can arrest you, but you have to leave. Now, the funny thing is Starbucks has a policy where you can just stand there and do whatever you want, even though you're not
Right.
buying anything. They have a, how they call it, out of the office policy.
I'm glad you put on that because I was going to bring
Wow.
up. I used to work for Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh, did
How-
you?
So
Yeah.
they can't.
So
Ooh,
this is the
plot
point.
thickens.
This is the point I was going to bring up. Howard Schultz, who is the CEO of Starbucks, is one of
Okay.
my favorite. Is one of my favorite CEOs.
Yeah.
And one thing that Howard Schultz that I've always hold on, you may
Just
is this
just
working?
forget
Can you
about
hear
it.
me?
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Everybody can hear you. You're the only one that can't hear.
Okay.
Just let it
All
go.
right. Well, Howard Schultz being one of my favorite CEOs, one thing that I've always appreciated about him, his desire for community. And while working at Starbucks, he created this thing called like the third place or fourth place environment,
Yeah.
which was Starbucks wanted you to go home, go to work, maybe church, and then come to Starbucks, whether you have to go to the bathroom or just get a cup of water. He wanted Starbucks to be part of your community,
Yeah.
which is why before he started coming into black communities, he partnered with Magic Johnson. Because he's like, there's no way I can go in here and sell $5-6
Yeah.
cup of
Right.
coffee. But
Right.
Magic Johnson was the one who lobbied him and said, no, yes, you
Exactly.
can. Now, bringing that back up to this situation now, here's a situation where I have with us as a whole automatically jumping out and just protesting an individual action of somebody who's not in line with the corporate standard.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Starbucks is a company, they have partnered with villages
Have
over
they
in the
responded
continent of
to-
Africa
Yeah.
and from
They
Is
are
that
really
statement?
involved in everything, every aspect, like with people in Africa, overseas.
Yeah,
so
Starbucks has involved people in Africa, people
But I'm saying,
in
what
South
What
America.
has been their response to that video?
And that's what I'm saying. Their
Yeah,
response to the videos, everybody sees the same 45 seconds. So as a corporation, they have to go in and say, hey, we have to investigate what happened. We understand what this video is showing. From the court of black opinion, we already know what happened.
Guilty.
Yeah, we already know. Like these brothers
Racist.
walking, because you see the realtor brothers sitting there saying, what did they do? And then you got white people all around the Starbucks saying they didn't do anything. They were just sitting there.
Yeah.
We don't.
And a lot of them were like, I do the exact same thing.
Yeah, and a lot of them came out and said,
arrested
I do the exact same thing. You got people who go and write screenplays while sitting at Starbucks, and all they do is order water.
Yeah.
And that's part of what Howard Schultz wanted people to do when they came to Starbucks.
I was actually thinking we can shoot that podcast in a Starbucks, but
I
now
think our next one should be in Starbucks.
I think we should like just sit there and see we gonna
Maybe
get
you could
arrested.
And not
do the
order
next one
anything.
there. Why not?
Yeah,
and not order anything.
Well, then again, because we
I
using
may want some
cameras,
water, though.
If we using cameras, they may actually be concerned about
Right.
privacy.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna have to find a way to come around with the camera.
but
But
my main thing, all right, so protests. Are you no longer down with Starbucks says to this?
Well, I'm not that big on Starbucks in the first place. You know, like I like some things there, but I'm like, oh, I need to go to Starbucks.
yeah, I'm the same
convenience.
thing too. I don't
I'd
really
rather
go at
go to
Starbucks.
Winchell's
I don't
or
really.
Yum
I don't
Yum.
really drink stuff at Starbucks. The only thing that I get is the croissant because that's the only thing that reminds me of Paris.
I'm a coffee
But
drinker.
Here's one thing though.
Mm.
I feel like even if there's a protest, first of all, you have to understand, most of the people that drink Starbucks are white, so they're not even concerned about this. They're like, well, you know what? That's not our problem. That's one. And then two, it's just gonna be like the H&M. We're just gonna make a lot of noise,
Up under
but
the
to
rug.
be honest, we're not really gonna stop shopping at those places. We're gonna post stuff
Keep on
online.
drinking it,
We're gonna
yeah.
start saying they're racist, but deep inside, you know you're gonna catch one of your brothers over there at Starbucks getting
But it's
like
not
that.
even about catching them. Like you looking at a brother right here. I don't necessarily go to Starbucks, though I used to work. I worked at Starbucks through college.
Yeah.
I own stock in the company from working there through college.
Oh, are you gonna sell your stocks now?
No, heck no. I'm not crazy. I almost sold them, but then Howard came back. But at the same time, you're looking at somebody. I don't go to the store, but I make the Starbucks coffee in my apartment
Yeah.
where I live.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I buy the Starbucks one because I get a discount because of where I currently work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do like their coffee.
You have all these fancy perks.
Yeah, it's a fancy perks. It's a lifestyle, you know. It was
Yeah.
hard work.
you gotta
But at
stop that stop. First
You
of
have
all,
a
you gotta
Starbucks
understand.
lifestyle.
If we were supposed to get mad at Starbucks, there's
Uh-huh.
a lot of stuff that we should get mad because that's the first process of being gentrification. You notice that a Starbucks shows up in your neighborhood.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily. Here, here's where I'm disappointed.
So
I'm
wait a
disappointed
minute.
here,
wait,
then
wait,
I'll come
wait,
back to
wait.
gentrification.
So you're saying
You
that's
live in
a
Inglewood,
sign
right?
when you see
That's
a
the first
Starbucks
sign. When
pop up.
you see a Starbucks,
That's a
you can see a
sign.
Mickey D's, you can see this, and you still won't ask. But when you see a Starbucks, that's where you're like, okay, I know what they're doing now. That's where it's
What's that?
officially. That's where they're like, okay, we're gonna start owning.
I feel
shit
like
around here.
now if you see a Pete's Coffee or something like that, it's more of a
What is Pete's Coffee? Pete's Coffee. That's like when they.
That's
you
real.
know, among
Wow.
white people.
Pete's is really
Pete's
bougie.
coffee.
Listen,
Pete's is extremely
among white people, I believe that there is also some kind of gentrification. So they're trying to get
Pete's
some
coffee
couple.
was like just a neighborhood little.
Okay, but before we get too
Nobody
far,
would
No,
know about
man.
Pete's coffee.
no, but before we get too far off, here's
Okay.
my thing with
Oh,
the
is he from
Starbucks
the West
incident.
Side?
We are all in a position as business owners, as people, where you can have an individual within your organization
Yeah.
who does something that's against your corporate policy.
Okay.
Like a lot of individuals are connecting this to what happened with Houston's restaurant. When Houston's down in Atlanta, where you had the African
I heard
American.
about it, but I didn't.
Well, yeah,
see
you had the
detail.
African Americans, like a group of like 10 or 12 who were going to have some lunch, and they were like, you can't sit together. They gave them every kind, and then they said it's part of our policy.
Yeah.
And then Houston's had to come down and say, yes, this is part of our policy.
Wow.
But it was enacted inappropriately.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the situation at Starbucks. You have a Starbucks where individual is going, and you have an individual within that Starbucks who makes the decision to do something that's against corporate policy. No different from all these videos we've seen with McDonald's employees or employees from other companies who have done things to burgers, who have fought other people across the who have spit in people's food, where they make an individual decision, but then everybody wants to blame the corporate structure. And I guess I'm arguing that Starbucks is one of those companies that it's hard for me to say, oh, the whole institution is
look at
racist.
that. But he was one of the
wow.
first one that was blaming H&M about who they are wrong.
And we'll get into that.
It's the
Wait,
anyway,
so you don't believe H&M was wrong?
I believe the same way
The same
Starbucks is wrong.
What's
the
the
same
difference
way.
between that situation?
What's the difference between H&M and Starbucks?
Yeah.
He's gonna
And
say
we'll
that.
get back
And
to
even-
that.
Marketing.
Hold on.
Anyway,
we're gonna get right
we're
back to
gonna go on
that.
a quick break.
Quick break,
And,
and that's we're gonna pick up right there. What is the
gonna pick
difference
up
between
right-
H&M and Starbucks?
Okay, keep it locked. We on the Red Go podcast.
Welcome back.
Oh
It's your boy Nato Chocinco. He goes by.
MPIN.
And our special guest host today, in the absence of E. Missy K, we have Zia.
Hi, everybody. What's up?
Now, Zia, you asked a very important question. What's the difference between H&M and Starbucks?
What's the difference?
In the response, or
I
Yeah,
mean, just even in
we're gonna
the whole
hear this.
concept. Even in the whole concept. I mean, what?
well,
an
okay. So if you
employee
separate,
obviously posted that too.
if you separate the two companies, H&M is a company started out of the English British movement that from jump is European movement that from jump has taken advantage of slave labor, who has.
The funny thing is, H&M is actually started by was it?
I thought it was out of
that's
Scotland.
British area.
Is that a
That's-
Scotland?
yeah. No. It's European.
It's
I was
European
thinking
for sure.
Forever
It's
21.
definitely European
Yeah.
clothes.
Forever 21. Those are Asians, but yeah.
So
Okay.
H&M is a
Getting a
company
fashion
that
license.
has historically has a record of showing prejudice, judgmental ads in their
Allegedly.
allegedly in court yes, in international court, allegedly in the court of public opinion. When it comes to black people who have a certain hue, they're guilty. So okay,
If
are you
I
talking
ask
about
you, if
what
I
about
ask
slave
you,
shops?
Besides,
we were talking about the slave shops, how the EFF group down out of South Africa, the economic freedom fighters, have been fighting against H&M for years.
no, they only got upset recently because of that T-shirt.
The T-shirt ad sparked what they've been preaching this whole time about H&M being a company that has no interest in people who have a different hue from them. I mean, everybody saw the, I'm the coolest monkey in the jungle sweater, but
Which for me, I still till today did not
Haven't
see
seen the sweater.
why. The funny thing is, he
And
wasn't
guess
even.
what? It was ugly too, just like.
But
the
if you look
nigger
at the
brown
whole
dude.
ad, if you look at the whole ad, they had a Middle Eastern boy with a shirt on that said "I'm the bomb." They had like an Asian looking kid with something about animals. Like the whole ad was disrespectful in such a way it showed.
in Starbucks that have that lady calling the cop just because two black guys.
That's the thing, and that's what I say. That's an individual
Yeah, yeah.
decision.
So okay,
That's
so
the
you're
individual
saying that
problem.
H&M is
makes
a corporate
difference.
response to just who they are. I'm saying Starbucks is a
Okay.
situation.
So that's what you're saying. The difference is.
Yeah, there's a difference in these things.
You know,
Basically,
H&M
for
is
his-
corporate wide, but
yeah.
the Starbucks was
Yeah,
simply
I don't-
For
I don't-
is
I don't-
one
I
person,
know
which I
Starbucks
agree.
would not-
But for me, I'm like, if you're not making a big deal about, because think about it, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in Starbucks that are racist. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Well-
sure that's not the first time that this
We
happens.
can't hide people being prejudiced and racist.
Yeah.
You
So
can't hide it. This is why it's important.
So it's
to
the
have
same
this
thing
discussion.
when H&M did their stuff,
But
it
then
wasn't.
I also think too, people's skin is not thick enough too. Everybody is just on this. Oh, you said this and you
Yes,
offended me.
and that's,
pig,"
you know what? I'm
you
so
know,
glad
which
you
leads
said
to
that,
that
because that's
the guy?
exactly what I've been telling everyone. Like
Yeah.
just what you said.
The
Like
sports entertainer. Who's that guy? The OKC guy.
Okay.
okay, yeah. Well, yes, like the OKC guy.
'Cause back
Out
in
of
the
his
day-
What's his name again? I forgot his
Picking
name.
mine.
What was his
Come
name
on,
again? You
man!
got his
Like
name?
really?
It's something Davis. It's something Davis. I forgot.
Is he black or white?
No,
I
he's
don't know.
super white. But here's the thing,
I
though.
think it's Brian something.
It's Brian Davis.
Brian Davis.
I think what he was saying actually was, according to what everybody's saying, it's a Southern lingo that they really use in this stuff. I've never heard that. But,
I've heard it before.
I've heard it before.
But it's a Southern lingo
Yeah.
that they use. So,
Brian Davis.
of course, when you have now movements like Me Too or Black Lives Matter or
I'm over
everything
Me
that
Too.
is causing
Stop.
America to be so
Did you hear what
polarized.
she just said?
What? I didn't hear. Say that
We'll
again.
go back to it.
But
We're gonna put a
when you
bookmark there.
have
She said she's over Me
all
Too.
this that's making Americans so polarized, you're not surprised that even someone, I mean, even we had a conversation. Is it wrong for white people to wear dashiki? I can't believe this is a subject of conversation.
Here's the thing in the conversation, and this is how
Is
they
it
play
wrong
the.
for white people to wear this?
Apparently it is in America.
No, and this
Apparently,
and this
because
is
I
how
had
they-
I had some friends that couldn't wear dashiki to go see Black Panther. They were like, I can't. Why? Because I felt threatened by
What?
black people.
No, that was in their mind.
We're
They
going
created
way,
that in their own mind.
We're going way, and see,
No.
this is how they divide us as a people.
Yeah.
It's a cultural appropriation.
We talk
apparently.
okay, but NBA we talked about
says
this.
that though? Who the hell said that?
Hey,
I'm about
I-
to tell you right now.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I can't tell the name, but I know at least 5 black people that told me exactly that they can't wear that because it's cultural appropriation. You have a video on the Facebook or YouTube about that girl talking about how what's the name, the singer Bruno
Taylor Swift.
Mars is doing cultural appropriation, and I'm like, really?
No,
Like,
Taylor Swift is doing a cultural appropriation,
Yeah,
trying to cover Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's
Please
cultural
don't go
appropriation.
there.
We can get into that too.
But
But in
anyway.
regards to what you're talking about right now, this is where the lines are so blurred with the woke community to just a conscious black community. When I'm talking about going to Starbucks and getting a cup of coffee and
I'm
an
laughing because
individual
of it.
who does not share the same hue as I do feels threatened by 2 brothers, and she or he decides to make a phone call to the police department in a I feel threatened manner, they need to be removed from here. It's totally different from Starbucks having a corporate structure of saying this is not allowed. When we see in Starbucks corporate structure, you can go into Starbucks, use the bathroom, you can go in Starbucks, get some
Right.
water, you can go in there and sit all
Yeah.
day. That's part of their culture structure. Like, come in here and sit, chill. They don't
Yeah.
mind. This is why people come in. Now, in regards to what
How
you're
do we
saying,
get back to Starbucks? We
Because-
agree with you about
Zia,
Starbucks.
let me tell you something. He's saying all that crap because he doesn't want to boycott Starbucks. That's all.
No.
How many Starbucks you get in a week?
probably one.
Probably one. So you go to Starbucks once every week?
No, I make a Starbucks cup of coffee once a
Oh
week.
no! Remember, he said he makes it in his own
Oh, okay.
apartment.
I
He
don't
doesn't-
go to
he
Starbucks.
Oh, you
go
don't
to
go,
Starbucks.
but you still give them their money.
See,
right?
this is what's in your cup that's being agitating right now.
See,
Because you're asking how we got back to Starbucks, because the foundation of what we were saying led us into the cultural appropriation conversation that he's bringing up, which you question about a white person wearing daishiki. And as a group, okay, one Marvin, African, you and I, Black American. So a lot of his
Talk
views,
to the mic.
a lot of his views come from a different type of upbringing than you and I. We're actually being put against each other in a lot of these discussions. Now, whether a white person,
so
to
you
me,
think
whether a
it's
white
okay
person wears a
for white
daishiki or
person to
not,
wear
I don't care.
dashiki?
Listen, it's not cultural appropriation because for me, I see black people doing cultural appropriation every February. So
Right.
for me, y'all both doing the same. When I say y'all, I mean
what you
African Americans and
Yeah,
this
because
thing,
you
I
know
y'all
don't
Missy
both
was
think
about
doing
to get in
this,
your DM.
the exact
I
same
don't
thing.
think it's anything wrong with white people wearing
Yeah,
dashiki or
I can tell. I
dreads
can
or-
tell where. I can
look
tell
at
where.
them like they're strange.
It is
Yeah.
this thing, but here's the thing though. I can tell where like African American can feel like it's cultural appropriation because they have not, like, every time that in this country, first of all, we have not experienced racism and slavery the same way. Slavery was abolished technically, because what they did is they changed the way they do the slavery, but slavery, like we know and we talk about in history has been
History.
abolished a long time ago
Right.
before America. So there was a lot of stuff that black people were able to do, which here African American were not able to do. So based on that, there's that experience. So like example, we were able to see white people assimilate African culture a long time ago, but it's
Right.
something that is new here, and because you guys are fresh from segregation in a certain way.
Still, yep.
So like example, me seeing a white person wearing dashiki, I see it all the time.
Right.
I mean, shoot, I go to
I
the
don't
store.
see
I go to
anything
a
wrong with it
Moroccan
because-
store. I went to a restaurant, and it was a Moroccan restaurant. The people that
Algerians.
were in there, Algerian, and people that were in there were French, white like snow.
Yeah.
And for me,
They
it's like
rocking
this
they
because a lot
dashikis.
of them are actually assimilating, and that's the beauty of, not beauty, but that's the consequences of what it was when you were colonized. Like we were colonized.
Colonizers.
Like
Mm.
so,
We were
what
enslaved.
happened is white people came in.
Y'all were colonized. We were
And
enslaved.
either mix or either subdue. When they tried
Right.
submission, it worked. Then after that, they were like, "No, you know what? Let's not do submission. Let's go ahead and assimilate." So white people wearing dashiki, it's something we see all the time. I see white people calling themselves Africans all the time, but I don't see a lot of African Americans saying that they're Africans. A lot of them, when you be like, "Oh, you African," you're like, "No, why?" Because I've never been to Africa, dude. There's only one continent that give you that skin color. Like, you
That
can't
part,
escape.
That part.
But then at the same time, let's not walk away from that same
Yeah.
continent. Doesn't accept us as African.
Because see, that's
Is that a myth?
no. The reason
It's
why
not a
I'm
myth.
saying that
He
is
knows
because,
it's not a
because it's a few that will
I'm gonna
say
stick
that.
to that.
And because again, there is like the way Africans American are,
Right.
and the way Africans see that. Africans
Right.
see African American first Americans. And unfortunately, Americans have the tendency of when they show up somewhere, they impose their stuff.
And
Like
you guys
they impose their culture. You gotta assimilate to me, not the opposite.
And for
So
the
there's
most
already
part-
that. And then the second thing is now we are seeing people of the same you as us coming in there saying, no. We're not doing
you know,
this.
that's so
we are
strange
this.
that you would say that. You know, when Americans go somewhere, they make you conform to us.
Yeah, I mean, think
But-
about it. If right now a Chinese guy comes here, he will have to learn English, and he will actually have to, when he goes to the store, he will actually have to make sure that he speaks some English in order for him to communicate. Americans are the only one that will get upset when they go somewhere and be like, "You don't understand English? How come?" Like they go places and they ask for a burger, and you're like, you realize that this is China, right? Like you won't find it. What? You don't have French fries here?
Well, that's you going.
But
into,
anyway,
you're going into a
that's
different
another
discussion.
tangent. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a tangent. But in regards to what we're talking about, cultural appropriation,
We're talking about Starbucks. How is it
Starbucks.
different from Starbucks?
I already
and
said what I
H&M?
need to say about Starbucks.
And we're
And
talking
people
about the
being
white
out of
dude
their
using
cotton picking mind.
cotton picking.
Cotton picking mine. Okay, so
It's
there's
just
a-
another word for
there's-
MFer.
there's a famous sports commentator by the name of Howard Cosell.
Huh.
Howard Cosell is widely known as one of the greatest sports commentators in the history of sports journalism.
Mhm.
Howard Cosell is widely known because of Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Howard Cosell was the commentator that would go back and forth with Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
You know, Howard Cosell had that famous Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier says you're this, and he says you're that. And then
Okay.
Ali would look at him and be like, Cosell, I'm fighting you next. How
Okay.
about that?
So
And they
what is
built
that?
this relationship. And Cosell was a big part of Ali when he got out of jail, getting him back to fighting Joe Frazier.
So what does that have
I
to
say
do
all
with
that
the-
to say Howard Cosell was actually fired and released. It was a Monday night. It was a football game. I think it was a Monday night football game. There's a breakaway run, and Howard Cosell is on the mic, and he says, "Look at that monkey go."
Oh,
Never heard from Howard Cosell
See,
again.
right there. Like he used the word monkey. If he would actually have the same play and he was a white dude, there would have been no problem. But what America does,
Howard Cosell is white.
But what I'm trying to say is, if he was referring to a white dude, he was probably speaking in terms of, look at this dude go.
Yeah,
He wasn't
NFL, he was talking to
necessarily
a black runner. I don't know. I forget who was running.
It just happened that the person was black, where he said, look at this monkey
Was the
go.
person black who was running?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was the NFL.
And that's why they fired him, because people were like, oh, you just.
Not to say it like, oh, yeah, I'm
pretty sure he wasn't really calling. He doesn't walk around call. It basically was using the wrong context. Like it just so happened the person that did the play was a black guy. And
He
they
was
still
a
look at it.
monkey.
Because think about it. You know how many times I hear black families be like, if you don't think your monkey ass this, but it's just as serious. That's the way they talk. And he wasn't probably talking about the black guy as he's being a monkey. He was just talking in the sentence, and then all of a sudden he was like, okay, you know what?
But the funny thing about Brian Davis, what he said about Russell Wilson, he paused before he said it. He was like, he's out of his cotton picking.
Because
it was almost like
here's the thing though, he wanted to use the MF word.
See,
He wanted to use the
Oh,
MF
you want to
word.
say?
It's
So you're
another
arguing he
word
wanted to
for
say
Yes.
mother
It
effing.
is.
That's
It is.
exactly what they use. That's
He had to
exactly
catch
what they
himself.
use.
Yep,
He wanted
it's
to see
another word.
mother effer.
Here's the thing. I think it was wrong for him to say that.
No,
I don't think. I
No.
don't. Okay,
Okay, that's why
yes.
he thinks so. Yeah.
Let me say it was wrong for him to say that. He should not lose his job. Maybe get suspension for one game. There are things at your job that we do on a day-to-day basis that you shouldn't do, but doesn't mean you shouldn't get fired for it. In this situation, I don't know this commentator, but also within the political climate that we're in right now, with the sensitivity where there are situations like a Starbucks feels comfortable, a Starbucks employee feels comfortable to call the police on black patrons.
Okay, so when he said it, how did the other people respond? How did the other
it was
guys
live on
respond?
the air.
It was
so
live.
now it's
Everybody
like-
was like, everybody got
next
quiet.
day,
Like,
you
did
know,
he just
Oh,
say?
did
was
they?
Yeah, they was like, did he just say?
Yeah.
But they
But
just
anyway.
kept going. But this is what I'm saying. We are in a political climate now where an employee at Starbucks can feel comfortable to call the police on a black
Yep.
patron. H&M
That's
can
true.
feel like pushing ass like this.
pushing monkey.
Groupon can
Not
feel
only that-
comfortable.
Yeah,
Groupon can feel
Groupon,
comfortable
yeah.
with
With
putting
the
out
nigger
boots
brown
called
boot.
Nigger Brown.
Ooh.
We're in a climate like, oh, they elected this guy, so it's okay.
Mm.
No, it's not okay. And so it's not okay to say these other things, because here's the flip side. As a community, we debate like, oh, it's cool for him to say that. It's cool for her to say that. But let it be in a Jewish anti-Semitic statement. Oh, TV would have been shut down. They'd have stopped the whole program.
I don't necessarily
I don't know
see
about
see
cotton
see,
picking
see
mine,
that,
though.
that's why I'm sometimes saying that, you know, maybe it's
I
me
think
coming
I'm
in
with
from
you. I
yeah.
think I tend
Because
to
let me
have
tell you
mixed
something.
views.
Like America's is not only now, it's way before. Black people have stigmas from the way they were treated back in the days. So,
No,
like
the way
example,
we're still treated
like right
today.
now, like right now.
Last time I checked, Stephon Clark just got shot by the police not too many weeks ago.
Like right now, white people feel uncomfortable using even the word black, even referring to color. Like
Good.
they can say, "Oh, that's that black kid,"
Yes.
but we get to say that's that white guy.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. Like you
They
know
should
how we
feel
use
uncomfortable.
you know how you use the word Caucasian.
Yes.
The same term when you referring to people our you is Negroid. But you can't use Negroid, which is the actual term that is being used, because black people feel offended. Like
That's true.
we are now making like white people, y'all can use this, and y'all can use this because y'all did that to us, and because
Yep.
we get to
Yep.
choose. It's like
Okay.
Yep.
it's like the victim saying to you how now you should live your life because you did this
Yep.
to me.
Yep.
Which I understand, you know, the person did something to you and you still feel it, but you can't tell somebody how now to live their life because of what they have done in the past.
No, but it's not just in the past. It's still relevant today.
Wow.
The things that we are arguing are still happening today.
I
And
just
on that
think-
note, go ahead.
I just think that some of it is petty. Like him saying cotton picking mine, that's petty.
Yeah.
The H&M thing, putting the monkey on the black head, that was racist. I just think that some things
Okay.
it's like, come on now, get over it. Just taking it too far.
And on that note, we're gonna come on a quick break.
Yeah, we should.
We because
I'm
I
coming back
feel
for
like
you.
this conversation
I'm coming
is
back
going.
for you.
Okay.
You done got to
All
find
right.
a partner in crime.
This is the Red Cup. We're going on a quick break and we're going to be back.
Where's Missy?
All right.
Oh, we back?
So we're back. As you can notice,
We're kind of short.
we
We're
got
kinda
kicked
short.
out. First of all, we got kicked out of the other awesome room where
We got
at.
colonized.
You know,
The colonizer
somebody
shows
forgot. Somebody forgot to do the reservations.
Our reservation was overlapped, and we got colonized.
The people that actually did the reservation for this time, I'm not gonna go into details.
people
it was your
came.
fault.
It was my fault.
It was your fault. But you know, we're back in the studio that we had, and who cares? It's a podcast.
We're in
Nobody-
Studio A. We're back in Studio A.
It's a podcast. Nobody really.
But we're short.
Oh yeah, Zia gotta go.
Zia.
Because
She had to go.
she got some commitments. You know, she got business, she got bills to pay.
She got some. She got some vocal things.
Unfortunately, we won't have her for a segue. But it was nice to have her input and
Yeah. So
know exactly.
But it's even
how
better
she
to be
stands.
back to the man cave.
Well, yeah. And talking about man cave, you know what? Enough talking about America and how it's polarized. Let's transition to something that is more more joyful. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, let's
It's
do
joyful.
it. Missy's not here. She ain't here. We can go ahead and talk about this without any disruption.
One thing in the news that I saw, Tristan Thompson.
What about him?
Hey.
It was a setup.
It wasn't like
It was a setup.
Last week we were talking about cheaters.
Uh-huh.
And I think that the show was just setting up so we can talk about this today. Like,
Man,
first of all, a little back story. Tristan Thompson, baller, NBA baller,
Mhm.
dating one of the Kardashians.
of which the
And-
Kardashian, remember we talked about side chicks.
Yeah.
The Kardashian was the side chick.
She was, he
and
was
he had
with
his
Khloe.
first girl
You know, he was
who got pregnant.
Exactly. And now he got caught cheating. First, I agree with you. I think it was a setup.
It was a setup.
Because whatever came out, like whatever proof came out that he was cheating was stuff that happened like 7 months ago? What, at the
6
club?
months
ago? Yeah.
I don't know
was,
when
that
it
was
happened.
stuff that happened a long while. I think it was when she was 3 months.
Well, they had pictures with Gabrielle Union in the back. And Gabrielle Union was like, I ain't had nothing to do with this. I was out with my mom and my aunt. Y'all can kill this right
She was like,
now.
hey man, don't get me to co-sign that shit.
There's like a picture with, so I don't know the exact date of the TMZ.
well,
Man, TMZ, dude,
here's my thing.
they be
though.
wrecking people's
like
lives.
like the girls that actually posted all that information,
Right?
whatever is him cheating or whatever it was something that happened when Khloe was 3 months pregnant. Why you wait until now to come out with? I'm pretty sure this is what I believe had happened. First of all, the girl, she's an Instagram model.
She is.
She
Okay.
is.
I don't know this part about her.
One of them is. They
You
are
know, I'm
Instagram
not gonna do
model.
that
Apparently,
much
that's a
research
new
on
job now, Instagram modeling. But anyway, she was involved in Instagram modeling, and from what we hear, she has pictures, she has text, she had videotape of them having sex. And
Oh, so this
I'm pretty
is
sure
like
she was
a-
like, "Hey, Tristan, you got two things: either
So-
you pay me some money, or
So she
either-"
sold it to TMZ.
Yeah, she sold it to TMZ.
She sold it to TMZ.
To make a
So
name
she
of
probably
herself.
hired the cameraman who knew the room. Because I was questioning. There's a video edit that TMZ has of one of their videographers who's actually
Yeah.
shooting into the room that they're in. And I'm like,
Okay.
how would you know that? Who knows to be on this
On this
building
particular-
at this time
on this angle.
and to shoot at this angle into
then
this room?
again, you know, those reporters, they actually bribe people to have scoops and insight. So
I put
it's
it
not
like
really.
this.
It's not really.
I think the Tristan Thompson incident is a setup. Now on to outside of the setup, because that's not the debate. There's a man who cheated
but
on
he
his
didn't cheat with
girl,
only one. He cheated with two.
or three.
He got
'Cause
one.
when there's a
He
third
got two.
one,
He got two
there's-
on the side.
Yeah, there's a third one. So here's the thing. when you date somebody who is as popular or as wealthy as a Tristan Thompson, when they go out, do they get a pass? I feel like some men, women, I'm kind of like this with women I've dated. Look, do what you do. I just don't want to know about it. As long as I feel like my attention, everything, and my needs are met.
All right.
As long as I don't know, do what you gonna do.
You know what? In my take in the whole situation is way different. First of all, Princeton, don't you know that the Kardashian pussy is cursed? listen. If you just got look, there is nothing in that. Like, you know the movie when they were doing the movie Get Out.
Yeah,
Kanye should I be like, bro, get out.
But Kanye was still with Kim.
But my point is, once you get in that pussy, you are cursed.
So,
Your
to me,
career
that
goes down.
Look.
You
To me, that says something about that pussy.
Like your man's crazy.
I mean, all I'm saying,
oh man,
we can talk about how many they have destroyed and whatever.
And
I'm saying, look at the track record of how many can't leave it.
And on top of that, no, you mean how many people left because they knew that it was
Who
cursed?
left?
James Harden left Chloe because that pussy was cursed. Look at what that pussy did to Lamar Odom. Look at what that pussy did to French Montana. He was like, I'm not gonna go with that program. Bye.
But what was the program?
Here's the thing: once you get with that pussy, your career goes down. That's it. Tristan Thompson, before he started dating Kim,
but you could have been. Here's the thing about the Kardashians: you could be taking them down with nobody knowing. These men were coming out publicly saying, "I'm dating James Harden, French Montana," and they all dated with. They only dated one sister.
What? Who?
They all dated Chloe.
Not only that, but look at Kanye. When was the last time
Kanye married Kim?
He married Kim, but he's still cursed.
And gave her 2 kids.
He's still cursed. Look what happened.
He's still making hits.
What hits? What? Tell me.
He got artists on good music.
What was the name of
Big Sean is signed to Kanye.
I didn't say Big Sean. I said Kanye. I said when you hit that pussy, your career, not other people around you.
Kanye's still doing his thing.
What was the name of his last album?
The Life of Pablo.
The Life of Pablo. How many songs do you know from there?
Probably not.
Because after how many songs you know from college, from graduation? College dropout.
The first 3 albums?
Graduation.
Yeah.
And guess what? Right after, even the brass album that he had, the 808 beats, you can name at least 2-3 songs from it. But
even with 808, that's when I started falling off of Kanye because he started speaking a different language. That had nothing to do with Kim. He wasn't messing with
pussy,
Kim.
Man, once he hit that Kardashian pussy, look what the pussy did to Bruce.
Bruce was like that before he got to them.
Did to Bruce, man.
Dude, Bruce was like that before. Bruce was like that with his previous 1 or 2
It's
wives.
my podcast. I can use pussy as I want. If you don't like it. Anyway, point is, listen, that Kardashian pussy is cursed. Ask Tiger. He will tell you.
Yeah.
The only time he works for you is if you're a female, China, and you can bank from it. Other than that, dude, nah. Look. What's that?
So let's get back.
Look at Scott. I mean, I can go on. There is no man that hit that pussy and still survive. Like, I'm not talking about like survive like literally, but at least was on top of the game. You can't hit that pussy.
I put it like this.
It's a good thing. That means that pussy probably good. But like, you want to gamble, man. Look, James Harden was hitting that. Once he started seeing that his numbers started dropping, drop her ass.
He was arguably MVP when he was hitting that.
No. When he started dating her, actually, I think he was injured at that time. Like, he was playing, and all of a sudden he got injured, and then all of a sudden he started seeing less of James Harden with her. Same thing with French Montana. I mean, French was already married, but when he was hitting that pussy,
French was married when he was with Chloe.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
Wife.
I had no idea.
Before that, he was hot. Then he started hitting that booty. And then all of a sudden,
but this goes back. Okay, so here,
no
watch this. This goes back to what Missy's arguing last week in the show, which is you got these side chick girls who do everything. I feel
Fuck
like this.
the side chick. You can't
No,
have
no, no.
side chick.
Hold on,
but
let
as
me
long
finish,
as
let me
it's
finish.
not a Kardashian.
I feel like this, Kardashian or not, you in a relationship and you dealing with a side chick girl, and that side chick girl, all of a sudden you want to make her number one. There's some karma that comes behind that.
Listen,
And I think
Steve Harvey
Kardashians.
did that. What karma came back to Steve Harvey? He's a successful Steve Harvey. That's what happened with Steve Harvey. He had he left his wife for somebody else, and now he's a successful businessman. You know, with a great show.
That's
you know?
That's a grown ass man.
That's
He
a
handles
grown-
it differently.
and that's what I'm saying, because that pussy ain't. I'm telling
You got it different.
that-
I put it like this: Steve Harvey going through a situation
Okay.
where he is divorcing his wife, separating his wife, telling his wife, I don't want to be here, and being on some grown man shit.
Ocho.
And like let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So you're comparing Steve Harvey to young boys. And what I mean by that is Steve Harvey, I'm going to argue, yeah, he did some stuff within the relationship, but solidified
He still
that along
cheated.
the way. Huh?
He still cheated.
He still cheated. But we're not. Your argument was Kardashians drag you down.
Yes,
Steve
the
Harvey found. So basically, you're saying Steve Harvey found the side chick that elevated him, as opposed to everybody else that got on Kardashian that
Yes.
de-escalated them.
What I'm saying is Steve Harvey or any other people cheating on their wife will probably go up. But once you hit that Kardashian pussy, it gets you crazy. That Kardashian poom poom.
That's what I'm saying.
That Kardashian poom poom will get you to go down in your career. You won't go anywhere. You'll be a bum after that.
Which
Anyway,
is
let's continue.
Which supports what I'm saying.
Okay.
As they must be carrying their good.
I don't think
Nah,
it's good
I don't
if
ever
your
want to
career's
find
gonna
out.
die. Okay.
But they must be carrying their good.
Anyway, we're gonna come back on
I
another
ain't
subject
saying-
real quick. We got tired of talking about pussy when there's no pussy around. You know.
What's
All
that Gold
right,
Digger
man.
song? I was
What?
saying, what's the Gold Digger song by Kanye?
Oh, she. Gets
I ain't
the
saying she a
money.
gold digger.
Hey, but she
but
ain't
she ain't
messing
messing
with
around with broke. And
but you
the
know what?
Kardashians have a record
When
of
we come
not
back, we gonna
down to
make-
their mama.
We're gonna make sure we talk in depth about that and move.
Bruce
on to other
Jenner wasn't the
subject.
broke one.
All right, this is the Red Cup.
Red Cup TV. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
My
Red Cup
friend.
podcast. We back again. Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Red Cup is
That
starting
sounded
to
so
hit
weird.
us. Really, man. Listen. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure we'll close that topic about Tristan. My only take about the Tristan Thompson is, you know what? You cheated. You're a dog. But you know what? You
My
hit
man.
the double threat, because guess what? You cheated with a Kardashian.
Tristan
And
needs
then now the Kardashian pussy is
Tristan-
basically hurting
Tristan-
your career.
Tristan needs a team. Tristan
needs a priest.
one
He needs deliverance.
When you I think like this. When you are
You
dating a
never-
Kardashian,
you
do
never-
not go out alone. Go out with a team that's going to protect you. Somebody's going to snatch
Protect you of
because I almost feel like the Kardashians and TMZ are business partners.
Dude, we having two
Like,
different
the
conversations.
TMZ
You're
keeps-
concerned about them being seen. I'm concerned about the career moves they're making, and I'm concerned about the spirit around them. Because I'm telling you, like right now, if Chloe shows up and be like, Marvin, I want you to hit that, I'll be like, nope. I know that poop boom is cursed, man, and I
She
believe
may
in
put it
voodoo.
on you.
Hey, if she put
I'm
it
saying-
on me, if she back
I'm-
it up, I'm gonna tell, hey, put it on drive.
Regardless of look, I'm not gonna sit here and smear the Kardashians. Regardless of how I feel,
I'm not speaking. I'm
about,
not stating facts. There's no man.
I'm not gonna go to this place where I'm gonna tear down the I put it like this: the
You gotta hope- you gotta hope you
Kardashians
can't hit that
have,
booty.
huh?
You gotta hope you can hit that booty, right?
Nah, I'm good. I'm not even attracted to them. I like dark skinned women.
Still, they're dark skin. Not darker, but they're dark skin. For
No.
light people, they're dark skin.
No, so
Oh shit!
and we can go into details about dark skin in another conversation. But
Anyway,
in the
go
sense of Kardashians, if you would let me finish MVIN, my
No.
friend, I am saying there is something about the Kardashians as a family that whether it be the Poom Poom or the family that draws these men in to the point they are willing to publicly come out and say they date them, marry them, I impregnated them. Now, do they drag people down? Hey, I'll argue this. When most of these men probably get involved with a Kardashian, they're not serious about having them long term. And the Kardashians is serious about being in long-term relationships. Like, they're serious about their relationships.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
Like, one thing you can't say about the Kardashians in their relationships is that they're not loyal. They're very loyal. And they want to be with the men that they want to be with. But at the same time, they are part of the propaganda machine because that's what their family is built in. So you get involved with them, be prepared to live a straight and narrow life. Because not only is it going to be fine if you try to keep it in closet, it's going to be exposed on TV because they always got a camera following them. Okay. Yeah, I think they got a production office in their house.
All right. I see that some people completely go with the program. Okay, no problem. Let's move on. Let's move on. For me, I'm just saying, like, you sound like somebody that probably going to be like, hey, Kim, I'm here. I'm going to slide them in your DM. And
I'm cool.
Anyway,
cool. I don't need my entire live broadcast on national TV.
So, what else do you want to mention? Because there's been a lot. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about the Nicki Minaj.
I got a question for you.
What?
So, who would you rather? We can't say who would you rather be. Who would you rather be? Who would you rather support? Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, or both?
Honestly, support what in whatever is going on right now.
Whatever's going on right now.
I don't give
at this moment.
Both of them, I don't even like both of them. I think
what?
Look, I would listen to Nicki Minaj. I don't really like the music. Let me tell you why. Because I feel like she migrated from hip hop to pop music, and for me, it's popular music. And I am one of those people that think that right now, Cardi B is like the replacement of Nicki Minaj. She's not another MC. She's just a replacement because people got tired of hearing Nicki all the time. So now we got Cardi B. And what I am really pissed about is how I understand Cardi B had a difficult, difficult road when she came from nothing and now she's something, and in the music industry she came from the bottom and now she's at the top of the chart.
You talking about Nicki?
No, Cardi. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, Cardi, listen, we understand and we know you came from the hood, but you did not have to be hood everywhere. And at one point in time, it's annoying. It's annoying. Grew up.
You know what? This is
evolve. Just because you came from the hood.
Statement. But here's the thing: you just made a statement that is it's a broader conversation. When you're talking about, when you talk about Cardi B coming from the slums and still being herself, you're also talking about a lot of maybe professional athletes or actors and actresses who come from the slums and they evolve where they're in these positions where they're still connected to where they came from, but they're living this identity of people they don't recognize. And one person that talks about that is Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar talked about this in his song, where he's like, I'm still Compton, but when I walk into this room, I don't see number white people. So I have to, on a duality type place,
I have to adjust.
Dave Chappelle had to figure out this identity.
I have to adjust. You can't be, and that's what I have a problem. People call it, oh, she's being real. No, she's not.
How is she not being real? That's who she is.
It's when you say being real doesn't mean when like example, if I'm in a room where I have a bunch of engineers. Let me say that if I'm in a room with a bunch of engineers.
Have you heard her album?
Who?
Cardi B.
I heard half of the album. I stopped after 5 songs. To be
honest. Why did you stop after 5 songs?
Because for me, first of all, when I was hearing it, it was almost the same thing as listening to Nicki Minaj. That's the way I feel. Like I said, I feel like Cardi B is the replacement of Nicki Minaj. That's one. And then 2, most of the song that has been out is about righteousness. It's
About what?
being ratchet.
Ratchet?
It's
Being
about
ratchet?
Being ratchet. And
Uh-huh.
it's cool, but at one point of time, come on, man. Like I want something else. That's two. I'm not saying that she's a bad person, and you know that's what sells. But at one point of time, we need to put like Beyonce has
What-
some hood songs, and she has some good songs. Jay-Z does the same thing too. Other artists, you know, Alicia Keys, she has the same
But when
thing
you're
too.
talking about an artist of Jay-Z, Jay-Z evolved.
yeah, and that's what
Like
I'm asking.
Jay-Z, you know, Hove sell dope.
my
So
thing-
hopefully you wouldn't have to sell, like
My thing
he
is, my thing
evolved,
is
he
she should-
matured.
She should start evolving right now. Not.
She has
selling.
one album and 2 mixtapes. She talks about, I mean, people have challenged her about a relationship with her mom.
When do you think it would be appropriate for her to change?
It may be when her daughter's born. Or her
wait
child,
until
their
her
child is
daughter's
born.
born.
I don't know if it's a boy or girl.
So that's the only thing that makes you mature. That's the only thing that makes you say, you know what?
It's not the only
I don't
thing.
want to be a gang member anymore. And I think saying
I know gang members who, when they had kids, they stopped. They said, "I have more to live for now."
and that's my thing.
But why does it
should wait
matter?
until-
But why
yeah.
does it matter what a person chooses to mature, or
My
what
thing is when
allows
you're a
them
pu-
to
when
grow
you're
up
a
and
public
mature?
figure like her, people follow you and people want to be like you. And
Nah.
when you are
I feel like Cardi B. I feel like Cardi B is coming into this industry just like Kanye West.
No.
She did it by herself. If you compare, Kanye West came into the industry. No one thought he was a rapper. No one wanted to get. Everybody wanted Kanye to be a producer. Kanye was like, "I'm a rapper," and he kept fighting and pushing and poking at that bubble until he showed people that he could be an MC.
And he
Cardi B's
evolved.
that same way. Cardi B has argued, fight, got into the industry, and now that she fought to get where she is, now everybody's like, "Oh, you got to change," and she's like, why do I have to change from what got me here? What got me here and got you telling me or even paying attention to me
in that
is
case-
me betting on
wait,
myself.
Wait. When you say why you have to change, you have to change because you have to evolve. If you, that's how you survive in the industry. You evolve.
She's surviving in the industry.
You just said she just started, and basically for you, it's like, okay, she just have to be that particular until she has a daughter. So you have to wait until she has a daughter.
No,
before
you asked a question when she
she,
mature. I
when
said
should
maybe.
be appropriate for you, and I think.
But the definition
once
of
you have your
mature-
first album, you have to think in the future. Okay, what can I do next?
But you're okay.
But anyway, let's come back with the thing that she has with Nicki Minaj. The thing that she has with Nicki Minaj apparently was a misunderstanding during the interview. There was a song
think they're
that was
making up.
Motorsport. And
I think
whatever.
Atlantic
they're
Records.
just
I think the record company had a lot to do with
wow,
that.
blame the white people.
No, it's not about blaming
not
the
the
white people.
protagonists, but the white people.
There's a line that Nicki Minaj said where she basically said, if Quavo's quarterback, I'm like Vince Lombardi. I can't remember the exact line. The original line to that, what she said is, if Cardi is the quarterback, I'm Vince Lombardi. They get along. They have always gotten along. Now there's been these weird experiences between
And you
them
think
two.
that it's a label that is behind that?
I think the label's about it. Conflict gets more.
Man,
Conflict gets more
At
likes.
one point of time, you have to blame the people involved.
Yeah,
not
at the end of the
label.
day,
You guys like to blame the label, but you forget that at the end of the day, the people are the one also doing the like the same way when
kind of like the colonizers are behind a lot of disputes that happen in Africa.
But
There's somebody
here's
who
the thing.
drives the tension.
But
There's a record
but-
label who is driving tension between black
but
artists.
At the end of the day, your decision is yours.
Your
Nothing
decision is yours.
Nothing is stopping you from picking up the phone and calling the person and be like,
and that's
going
where
on?
we talk about the maturity. It's up to them how they want to handle it.
Well, that's
Who's to say that they're not?
So because that's the same thing. Like if right now Jay-Z has a beef with somebody, you will call them and be like, dude, like what's going on? Like, and then after that, you escalate. But you don't see this from those artists. Only thing you see is crap music. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I like Cardi B's album.
We all know you like Cardi B. We all
Oh, yeah.
know you love Cardi B. And for you, I can see how, like I said, how she came in the industry and started imposing herself. Me personally, like I said,
She came into an industry that didn't trust her.
I feel like she is the replacement. This is what the same way you blaming the label for. I feel like the label is like, you know what, we got tired of Nicki Minaj. We need something else. So now they got Cardi B. and they realized that, okay, you know what, we're gonna get her to to replace Nicki Minaj. And actually, Nicki Minaj came out with a new album. Yeah, I think it's an album or a song or whatever, but nobody really hears it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell there's somebody in there.
I don't know. Man, you just gonna interrupt our stuff like that? Just for
I didn't want my brother.
We don't give a fuck, man.
I didn't want my brother to go through a little situation.
See what we go
What's
through.
happening?
See what we go through, man. See what we go through.
I'm sorry. It's Red Cup TV. That's what we're gonna do.
Anyway, we gonna
I
have
see
to
you, bro.
close that.
I see you.
We're gonna close that because this is gonna end up being a 3-hour podcast if we have to continue. So,
well,
same
you got what's in my cup. You got what's in Marvin's
same
cup.
question to you. Who do you pick?
Between
Cardi
who?
B. You Cardi B, right?
I can't. I love them both.
Okay. Wow.
I think that Chun Li song was
I didn't
below
like it.
average,
I was
but
like, okay.
the Barbie Ting song, yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, that shots fired towards Remy Ma for sure. But I feel like Nicki Minaj is like a fashion icon at this point. Like her ideas are fashion icon, all that other
She's
stuff.
pop music, so of course.
Regardless of what you call it, I take Nicki over Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, because she's black.
It's authentic.
Anyway, you listening to the Red Cup podcast, and you can listen to us now on iTunes, Google Play.
Yeah. Tell Taylor
on the churn.
she shouldn't have
tune
did
in.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh man, you talking about who?
Taylor Swift covered.
You
Earth,
talking
Wind,
about?
and
Do
Fire
you know that
September.
Cardi B got actually somebody put her on blast because she literally copied lyrics from another female artist from Memphis, Tennessee. She put her on blast on this. It wasn't Ghost. She
Ghost
came out and be like,
Riders.
"No, that was my
Ghost.
lyrics. That has nothing to do with Ghost."
Riders.
So how you gonna call her she's been real when her lyrics is not actually authentic?
I was talking about at that point. I was talking about Nicki.
No, I'm talking about Cardi B. It's Cardi B that got put on blast.
I don't know nothing about that story.
Oh, you can check online. Her name is Lashat or whatever. She's actually the
is she
cousin.
suing her?
Yeah, her. She's actually the cousin of Project Pat from 3-6 Mafia,
Okay.
and she actually was like, "Hey man, get with the program. You need to give me props. So those are my lyrics." And she literally copied the lyrics. That's not the first time Cardi B get accused of doing stuff like that. So I'm not surprised.
Somebody
Anyway.
writes for her.
Anyway, we're done. So Red Cup Podcast.
Red Cup
I would say
Podcast.
where we're available before you interrupted me. So we are available on iTunes, Google Play,
Google Play.
soon on Spotify.
Soon on
We
Spotify.
are on TuneIn. We are on Pocket Cast. We pretty much everywhere.
Pocket
And
Cast.
you can catch that show also on The Beat Radio. Yes.
Yes. The Beat
Listen
House.
to the Beat House
You
Radio.
You can catch versions of Red Cup TV on Beat House Radio. As always, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Red Cup TV, and then everything that this man just said that I wasn't aware of. iTunes, The Beat House. What else do we have?
We got also you can catch us by Spirit.
Yo, I'm not Ocho Cinco.
I'm FBI and I'll
This has
see you
been Red
next
Cup
week.
TV. Finish your glass. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers.